Today's video is in response to a question from one of our viewers, Bill. Bill's a senior golfer. He's just replaced some of his irons with some hybrids. Makes absolute sense. Bit more forgiving, easier to hit the ball up in the air. Bill's question is, with these hybrids, can he still chip with them and hit punch shots? Very valid point and question, Bill. So today I've brought along a Cleveland Halo XL 8 hybrid iron, and we're going to hit a couple of chips and punch shots with these. See how they go. G'day golfers, I'm Glenn Haynes. Welcome to Aussie Golf Pros, where we help you be the best golfer you can be. So let's begin with the chip shot. This is a typical position where I'd hit an 8 iron. Little chip and run, enough loft to get over some fringe grass, lots of green to work with, and then letting the ball roll up to the pin. But first, let's have a look at the differences between these two clubs, and it's quite a lot. So there's my normal 8 iron, Srixon Z Forge 2 blade, quite a thin sole, thin top edge, and the face is a little bit different as well. So this is a Cleveland full face, which means the grooves go all the way to the toe. Cleveland are doing that with a lot of their clubs now. Looks good. Big wide sole, so it's lowering that center of gravity, helping the ball get up in the air more easily. And it's a lot bigger head as well. It's longer from the heel to the toe. It's probably taller too. And we've got the graphite shaft in this, so it's a lighter club than mine, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference with a chip. All right, let's have a go. I'll use my club first. Just a simple action, close to the ball, just cutting the grass. Don't need to hit it very hard because the 8 iron's quite powerful and it will run quite a long way. There we go. So it's only gone in the air about 4 or 5 yards and it's rolled the rest of the way. Got good pace on that. All right, let's try the Cleveland iron. Watch what happens. A little practice swing, definitely feels lighter. Now, it's come out a little higher, yes, but with so much more power. Oh, it's gone in, but that was actually hitting the hole faster. So definitely felt faster off the club face. And that's what we see with a lot of modern clubs, and feel the faces are harder for more ball speed, and it's really going to help you to hit the ball a little bit further. And that's the way they're designed. I've got a forged club there, very soft head, so the ball comes off very softly. Now, I would suggest that with this sole, chipping should be fairly accurate and fairly easy, especially if your lie's not great. It'll help you to glide through the grass. But with this extra bounce, I wouldn't necessarily use it off a hard pan, because you don't really want the bounce of the club bouncing off of the hard ground and into the ball. So a little softer with this shot. It goes a little higher, not much difference in it. And I've just taken a little bit off of that, or nearly chipped that in. Even that just felt fast off the club face. So yes, you can chip with them, but be aware that they're a little bit different in that the ball can come off that little bit faster off the club face. Next, we'll have a go at the punch shot. Now, I wouldn't normally play a punch shot from here. It's not windy, I'm in the middle of the fairway, I just hit a normal approach shot. But for the purpose of this video, let's have a go. So when would I play a punch? Trying to punch under a bough of a tree, but still get some backspin on the ball. We're basically going to change the dynamic loft of the shaft, so at impact, the grip is going to be ahead of the club head, so that we're really hitting down into the shot a little bit more, a lower trajectory, but still with plenty of spin. And to do that, I would have the ball position more center rather than forward. So typically I'll play my 8 iron just ahead of center. So I'm going to move the ball position back a little, push that grip forward, and then I'm going to saw off the follow through. I'm going to be a shortened finish position here, and that will control that trajectory, hit the ball much lower, but still generate plenty of spin. All right, let's have a go. So slightly different ball position, that's the only thing I'm changing in the setup. We're going to saw off that follow through. So that's a lower trajectory than my normal 8 iron, and it still had plenty of spin. Some people like to play this into the wind. Typically I just like to take the speed off into the wind, but that's a very useful shot under the bough of a tree and so on. All right, now with a lighter hybrid iron, this Cleveland Halo XL. Couple of swings just to get used to it, because it really does feel very light to me. With the graphite shaft, I'm going to play exactly the same technique. Let's see what happens. It's popped up a fraction higher, the sound was different, it's gone further, and it hasn't spun as much. That's worth keeping in mind when you're playing these types of shots as well. If let's say your hybrids go 5, 6, 7, and then your 8 irons a normal iron, then you're going to have a spin difference between the 7 and the 8, more so than normal, because the way these are designed with this harder face, that's going to affect the spin. And this is why a lot of the tour pros play softer irons, because they want that control, they want that spin. They don't need the distance, they don't need help getting it up in the air. But for senior golfers, they're great. It was so easy to clip off the grass there. It popped up in the air easily. Yes, it's a little bit harder to keep down lower in windy conditions and so on, but realistically, these are designed for golfers that don't swing as fast as they used to. So I have a question for you, Bill. When would you want to play a punch? Definitely not an approach, because if anything, you're going to lose some stoppage and it's going to skip forward to the back of the green. You really only need a punch shot when you need to stay under the branch of a tree. So that would be the only time I would play a punch. But in answer to your question, yes, these are shots that you can play. You can chip and you can hit punch shots with these clubs. So we see there a couple of good shots. My 8 iron spun a little bit more and is just short of the pin, and the Halo XL iron definitely flew a bit further and ran further. It didn't spin as much, and that's worth keeping in mind. Should you go out and replace your irons with hybrids? Definitely. If you're losing clubhead speed and you find the 5 iron, the 6 iron, the 7 iron a bit too difficult to hit, and you want a little bit of help with them, go ahead and get yourself some hybrids. They really are easier to hit, and you'll be able to hit more greens with them. It's just easier to get up in the air and get a little bit more distance with, so absolutely makes sense. So I talked today about hitting a punch shot and hitting a different shot when I was into the wind. So if you want to learn how to control those low shots, including the Tiger Woods Stinger, watch this video next. There's your free download, all of the notes and images from today's lesson. You can download that straight to your phone, and the link is in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. We look forward to your company next week. Are you the best golfer you can be?